go to the cloud. So we're here today for the September session. I'm just going to bring up a slide deck, run through a little bit of an intro around some stuff, and then I'll hand over to the speakers. So I'll just bring that up as a slideshow. Everybody can see that, designed by data, mobility shaped by data. Cool. We've got, so it's been recorded. It will be up on our YouTube channel sometime probably later this week, and then we'll put a social post out just promoting the session as well, and then feel free to share from there. This is the second to last Designed by Data session for the year. So the next one's the 8th of November, and Precincts Shaped by Data. If you're keen to join in on that, just go to smartcitiescouncil.com and you can register. We've got 2 talks today, and then space for some time for Q&A. The talks are recorded, so the presentations will be recorded, and then we turn off the recording for the Q&A, and it just has a bit more of a free flow in terms of the conversation. Our first speaker is Adam O'Connor from Count Culture, and then we have Tim Young from Smart Access Enterprises, both of whom are in New Zealand, which is awesome. I will hand over to you first, Adam. I'll just make you a co-host. I'll stop sharing. I'll just make you and Tim both a co-host. If I can figure out how to do that. Hang on. Always a technical glitch, seriously. Oh, here we go. Stop sharing the screen. And let me just make you both a co-host. Make co-host, yes, and Tim. All right, great. All right, so I can see your presentation there. You're good to go. And I will turn off my video and camera, and if everybody else can just save your questions to either the Q&A session after Tim and Adam and Tim have spoken, or feel free to drop some questions in the comments, and the speakers will have a look at it later as well. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Janet. Hi, everyone. I'm Adam O'Connor. I'm the CEO of Count Culture. You may have heard of us, Reveal Smart Nations. We have just rebranded after 22 years. So today I'd like to run you through the work which we have been doing with Waka Kotahi in regards to really helping the uptake of active transport here in New Zealand. And then obviously a big part of that is providing data. So we are a preferred supplier to NZTA. We've been working quite closely with them over the last 3 years to develop an active transport monitoring system utilising our core technology, computer vision. Bear with me one moment, hold on. So what we do, so we provide technology that counts, tracks, and trends the movement of people, vehicles, and objects. Our vision is quite simple, is to lead the way to creating successful, vibrant cities where people, businesses, and communities thrive. So in terms of our company, we've been in market now for over 22 years. A bit of a fun fact, Reveal was the first company in the world to develop and commercialize a people counting system utilizing computer vision, as in video, way back in 1998. And that was actually born out of the old Callaghan Innovation Industrial Research. It was developed by our in-house scientific officer, Dr. Alan MacGyver, who still works in our business. And over the decades, our proprietary algorithms have been tuned to perfection by applying science with real-world experiences. And to this day, we're still regarded globally as the true innovator and leader in people counting and associated technologies. And as discussed in 2022, we have rebranded to Count Culture, a new website, and everything will be upline. I've also put together a white paper as well, which I'll talk to today. If we don't count, it doesn't count, about the importance of monitoring active modes. So feel free to email me on info@countculture.com, and I'll flick you that through. So in terms of who we work with in New Zealand, we have most of the major city centres using our system. Examples of our customers is Heart of the City, which is the Auckland CBD Business Association. We have 22 counting sites throughout New Zealand. Waka Kotahi, of course, new customer of ours, Whangarei District Council, and the Northland Transport Alliance, which we are installing an active monitoring system around Whangarei. At the moment, Christchurch City Council, so our good friends Michael Healy and Grace, they've been using our system for over 2 years to measure pedestrian activity within the CBD, and Dunedin City Council and Whakatane and a few others. So, why we collect active transport data? So the real reason why is to measure the impact of investments in active transport. As we all know, there's a huge amount of money being invested into sustainable transport to really throttle the uptake of active transport and micromobility. A key part of this is monitoring. Obviously, in New Zealand, to receive funding from National Land Transport, program information needs to be clearly identified, baseline figures of usage and safety, and proposed monitoring of change. And for people monitoring a cycle network, there are over 60 different metrics available to evaluate the impact of engineering, education, encouragement, and enforcement interventions. Now that's from the mode share, even hands up counts in classrooms, which happen, and obviously measure of physical activity through the New Zealand Health Survey. But to be honest, the most direct measure is traffic counts. However, there's many challenges with accuracy, and of course the collection of data needs careful consideration in regards to how it's implemented and where. The real reason, obviously resources are limited. Governments and local authorities need to spend wisely. So to ensure money has been invested in the right place at the right time, monitoring is key. It's also key to determining difference in our effort to provide a more multimodal, safe environment for all road users. By providing age and gender, the type of mode and speed, our technology helps local governments assess if they are delivering for the residents and visitors. And by collecting data, our systems have been designed with privacy in mind, so we don't collect or obtain any personal identifiable data. The video feed is streamed and then deleted in real time, and the counts are sent over the network. Local authorities also collect car and truck volume data for national plans, and Waka Kotahi and the Department of Internal Affairs require it as part of their mandates. However, many do not constantly collect walking and cycling data, and there's a lot of good work which Waka Kotahi has been doing with local government here to really incentivise the uptake of the collection of the data. Monitoring out in the wild is very hard and challenging, as you have lots of issues, foreign power, cutouts, environmental conditions, and accuracy of systems, which can lead to generation of bad data. So, capturing this information, this feeds into latent demand assessments, demand models, facility designs, and business cases. It's also important to make the data available to the public through real-time displays and websites. So lots of councils now are making their data available through their websites. Heart of the City, one of our customers, they've been doing this for over 10 years. The retailers use it to decide what part of the road to put their retail shop on, where to invest. So once it's made available, the data can be really unlocked and the value can be extracted out of it. So the work we've been doing with Waka Kotahi, they've been doing a fantastic job in regards to the generation of the National Walking and Cycling Database. It's the data warehouse which is bringing in feeds from companies such as ourselves, where we provide the counts and the micromobility modes data through our data marts, which is integrated into their warehouse. And this is going to be publicly available to anyone to look at the impact of walking and cycling, and also the trends between the cities. Just a bit of a high-level overview of how this works. So our IPU Vision software and cameras send data to our Account Central platform, and below that sits an enterprise data mart. What we do is we also bring in other data feeds of interest, such as the weather. So we can look at running comparisons between the weather, such as rainfall and temperature, and what's the impact of that for walking and cycling. We can also bring in other sensor data as well, and also data such as external market view transaction data. So that's quite interesting for CBDs and business districts who are looking to see the impact of footfall and micromobility to the spend within the business districts. And then we provide a dashboard and reporting tool, which allows councils and local government to build and customize their own data feeds. Now, this is API'd also directly into what will be the National Walking and Cycling Database, which is going to be published from Waka Kotahi. In terms of some dashboards, I won't do a demonstration for you today, but these are some dashboards which we've built for Dunedin City Council, which has just come online. The platform allows councils to build their own dashboards and reporting. What we found over the years is that people want reports in different ways. So it allows our customers to jump in here and build custom reports without any coding. So this is what we've done for Dunedin. Obviously here, the counts and the total count locations, but also overlaying the weather and the rainfall with the foot traffic. And here's another dashboard to show the weather comparison and the traffic comparison for local areas. So this is just a bit of a high-level snapshot of how the data is visualized and how it can be used for decision-making with local government. And I believe that's my 10 minutes. So as discussed, thanks for your time. If anyone would like a copy of the white paper, please reach out to info@countculture.com and I'll get one of our team to send that through.
Thanks, Adam. You want to just, yeah, cool. Really cool, actually, and I'd like a copy of the white paper, so I'll send that email off. But right over to you now, Tim, if you're ready to go. You're already a co-host, so you should be able to just share your screen and run through your presentation. And then remember, everyone will have time for question and answer after Tim finishes. Yeah, unless you want to just pop it into the comments, and in case you might forget your pressing question. But I'll hand over to you now, Tim.
Cool, thanks, Jenna. I'll just share my screen. They're working?
Yeah, it's sort of small, like it's on a phone or something.
Oh yeah, it's on my
That's all right. If
no.
that, yeah, we can still definitely see it, but I just wanted to let you know that it's not as big as.
Yeah, I'll put it on my other screen. It's on a vertical screen.
Ah, yes, that's what's doing there. Yeah, because it's like this big, it's like a phone. You know, when you look at a phone screen, you've got your little video in between in there.
Yeah, how do I stop sharing?
Oh, you should be able. Yeah, cool.
All right, I'll just got a spinner in the works.
It's all right if you want to run through it that way. That's fine as well. I mean, we can still see it. It's just with small.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna
take a few minutes, I might just have to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think just do that because you'll be doing a lot of the talking anyway, unless there's something really specific that you want us to look in quite a bit of detail. I think it's going to be fine. I just wanted to let you know though.
Cool. No, thanks.
All right, just start sharing again then, and I'll just let you know when it's up.
Great.
Yep, no, we're good to go. Fire
cool.
away.
Alrighty. Good to know for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Tim. I'm from Smart Access. I'm the CEO and founder of Smart Access, and I'm a wheelchair user. I got into disability advocacy a few years ago, and after speaking to a number of my colleagues and other disabled people and different councils, we found that, you know, it's one thing if cities aren't fully accessible and don't allow mobility in that area, but it's another thing if you don't have access to the data and the most accessible routes out there. So if there's 4 different routes you could take traveling from A to B, and 3 out of 4 of them are very inaccessible, it's really useful to know which the most accessible route is. And that enables mobility in a lot of ways without actually spending any more money on infrastructure. But also having the data on the most accessible routes and where the main barriers are really helps councils to prioritise their infrastructure spending as well, to link up pedestrian networks between public transport and communities or schools, and between old folks' homes and pharmacies, or such things. So there have been some accessibility audits or surveys in the past, but they've been really limited and mainly just focused on some of the traditional features that affect people in wheelchairs, where mobility is much more diverse than that. So after a couple of years of frustration around this and speaking to doing a lot of community consultation, I decided to start this company. And we collect data on around 38 different variables, or 40 variables, not just traditional wheelchair things like gradient, crossfall, curb ramps or crossing type, but also tactile paving, if there's seating, what type of seating, if it's got a backrest, armrest, wheelchair space, if there's a bus stop, what type of shelter it has, all sorts of other street furniture, playgrounds, shade, really diverse things, because all of these things can affect people with different needs, young families included, or those with rheumatoid arthritis or amputees. All of these things affect them in different ways. So we collect really diverse data, and what's really key is providing this data easy to visualize for the public to see, instead of being buried away in a report. It needs to be publicly available. So we have a free app that people can access that data on. And sorry, it's very small, but you can vaguely see what that data looks like. So it's just mapped out, different colors representing different features. And people, because we collect so much data, it's really important that people can turn on or off the data, that the features that are most relevant to them. So if they just want to see crossings, or if they only want to see signal crossings, they can do that, and then they can plan their journey accordingly. Also, we collect data on things like bike lane width and cycle racks and playgrounds, so it's really useful for non-disabled people as well. This is the curb ramps. So you can see my cursor. There's a red curb ramp here showing that it's really dangerous. There's an old folks home here and a pharmacy here. So that just helps council staff visualize where the priority areas are to link up that pedestrian network. Obviously, this red curb ramp needs fixing. Again, bike lanes, just showing where it's most narrow, so you might not want to send your kids there. Oh, parking, playgrounds. Then you can zoom into the playgrounds, turn on shade or park, bus stops, water fountains, seating, etc. And you can see photos of everything as well. Tactile pavings in the southern city centre of Hamilton. And then if you show where the bus stops are, you can see where those pedestrian networks break down, where that data's missing. So yeah, this really enables mobility. It really empowers people to be able to plan a journey before leaving the house, because a lot of disabled people just don't leave the house. They get a bit overwhelmed and a bit scared about the uncertainties they may face. And so this really empowers them to feel safe and plan ahead. Also completing some PhD research at the University of Waikato to enable a navigation tool for this to make it even more useful. So the first step to that is developing a new impedance type. And if you're using Google Maps, you're generally looking at time or distance when prioritizing a route. But for people with different needs, mobility needs, it's important to for them to rank the features that are most important to them, and then get a route based on which barriers they may face, and have that as a measure of impedance rather than just distance or time, and that allows personalized accessibility maps and route planning to occur. How many minutes am I in? That's pretty much it. Yeah, just developing those pedestrian networks and collecting all that data. We're currently doing a citywide audit of Wellington, and just finished a townwide audit in Wynyard, Australia, and a few other towns in Australia and New Zealand. So yeah, starting to get a bit more user data, and that's the end of the slideshow.
And that's some other stuff on your screen. You want to stop sharing the screen?
All good?
Right.
Go.
That's cool. Hey, I'm just going to stop the recording now, so I'll do that.